All right, so the next part of this project right here, we've got this all the way sanded. It's nice and smooth. We're gonna have him write his initials down here because we won't see that when it's on here. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna paint this part here green. Here, lid's on, it's gonna shake this up. This is a water-based paint. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just kind of put this thing on its edge, make sure it doesn't wind up coming out. We don't really need a lot for this project here. A little bit goes a long way. So we've got our brush out of the sink. It's nice and clean. When we go and put this paint on, dunk it in a little bit, put it on, and you just keep moving it over the whole project. This will dry very, very, very fast if you go light, which is what we want. We're gonna put multiple coats on it. So you can see I just keep coming right back through this area and grabbing more. I have not went and grabbed any more paint yet. Totally fine to see the grains of the wood through it. We can go darker later if we want to put another coat on. 2 light coats would definitely be better than 1 dark coat. And what we'll notice is, see how it's almost dry already? Yeah. Especially in this room here with the heater and all that and the fans running, the stuff dries very fast. All right, so we probably actually have enough right here to do your whole project and somebody else's. So I'll let you go ahead and you can put it on the project or videotape it a little bit more. When we're done, we'll just rinse the brush off in the sink. Same thing, we'll rinse our hands off in the sink. If you go light, it won't get stuck to the side of the tray too, which is also very important. Nice and light, don't be afraid to press a little bit harder with it.
Mr. Brown?
Yo.
Any more?
So this actually works better when this gets all the way saturated. That's when it works the best. Because the purpose of this here is to those areas, and then it comes out on the areas. How's that working out there for you? Pretty good? Oh, yeah. So you don't really need to do the bottom. You can do some of the bottom, or you can just like go over the edge a little bit of the bottom. Just make sure you go with the grain. Less is more with that stuff. It's tempting to get it a real dark color, but let's not do that. Let's just do it super light.
Okay.
All right. Try it for me a little bit. You're super close. Okay. You need that set up. You can go to the dowel. Yeah. Towards the top. check the top down. All right, how's it looking? Pretty good, right? Good. Alright, so we're going to let you finish that up, or I'm actually going to wind up cutting the video here, and we'll cut back in when you get it done. We'll talk about it for another minute. Should be in pretty good shape. Alright, so it looks like he's got all his paint on. Looks pretty good. I don't see any runs. That looks pretty good. The only thing we might want to try to do is inside that little area right there, we just try to get a smidgen in there, kind of like this, and like that. But other than that, I would say it looks pretty good. Real no heavy wet areas. And he's got probably a solid 70% of the base color on. So next time when he comes in, he's gonna do another quick coat over it, and that'll get the rest. It should be nice and green at that point. Remember that 2 light coats is definitely better than 1 thick coat. That'll dry nice and fast. We're gonna leave it right on this thing here. We'll put it right in our cabinet and be in good shape, ready to go. So that's all there is to it. All right, so we've got our first coat of paint on some of these pieces, huh?
Yeah.
And can we still see our wood grain? What do you notice when you pick it up? What does it feel like?
Like rough.
Kind of like grainy, like a sandpaper almost. Yeah, you can even hear it. So why do you think that has that rough type feeling?
So it's picking up all that extra debris.
Yeah, so like the wood dust in the air. There's probably dust and dirt kind of everywhere when we let it set and dry. That dust is in the air, it sets in the paint. It dries like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of loose leaf paper right here, it's computer paper, and this would be like a 2,000 grit sandpaper, all right, or 3,000 grit. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this to go over our project and take off that gritty type feeling. Man, feel that already. Isn't that amazing? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this here and we're going to go over this whole project. And once it's all off and nice and smooth, what would we do to it again?
We can't.
Yeah, we're going to put a nice light coat on. Now, was this one yours or is that one yours?
This one's mine.
So,
I didn't retrace mine yet.
yeah, so that's what I was just going to tell you.
I can just tell because of this.
Yes. So what I would do is I would, every time you do it, now, are we ever going to see the bottom when it's sitting on our flour?
No.
Unless we're like this, right? So, do we even really need to go over the bottom again? No. He has it nice and light on there, and that's good. So, if you want to come over, James, you can actually, you can go ahead and put another nice light coat on this. And if we take a look at these over here, these actually have 2 coats on them, don't they?
Yeah.
And we can just see our wood grain through a couple of areas, and those are just like little areas that we missed. So, what do you think we would do to these here as well?
Give them one more coat.
Okay, and what would we do right before we give them the coat?
Paper.
Okay, so we'd sand them down with that piece of loose leaf paper, right? Do you think the real key here is to go super light with the coats?
Yeah.
Do you know if we go super light with the coats, it dries like super fast, like almost instantly? So what happens is you guys just, you want to put a coat of paint on it, you don't want to see the grain anymore, you don't want to see the discoloration, you want those instant results. And it doesn't really work out that way. It's one of those things that you just have to put on, 2 or 3 light coats and you get it done. Can I paint this in a period?
Yeah.
Can I probably paint this in a period and this in a period? All right, you think I could probably paint this, and put a coat of polyurethane on my other piece during that period?
Yes.
So I'm getting 3 pieces of work, 3 pieces of our project are getting worked on during that period. So we're really moving and grooving. So don't spend a lot of time on the paint. Nice light coat. If you miss a spot, don't worry about it because we can get it again tomorrow when we come in, or the next day when we come in. So light coats is key, sanding in between coats, even though it's with a piece of paper. I mean, you've seen how much better it felt. So that's really all there is to it. We're gonna get a couple light coats on these, and basically the next thing we're doing is we're just gonna paint that center little wooden dowel, and we'll be putting these things together. So we're in pretty good shape.